Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to look at this HDMI to VGA adapter. And I had initially bought this for my CRT monitors, but they do not have the right input for this. This is a VGA male. So this goes directly into the monitor, and the three monitors I have for CRTs are hardwired in, so they output a male, so it's a male to male. I don't have a female to female adapter, so, and I didn't feel like spending another $7 on that right now, but I probably will pick one up sometime because I do want to test this to see if it works on those monitors, because the other adapter I bought in the last video I showed actually only worked on one of my monitors. The other two did not like the inputs or the refresh rate coming from the mini consoles like the NES and the Genesis and stuff and the TurboGrafx, because that's primarily what I wanted to try to use these with. So I bought another one and it didn't work out because I didn't pay attention to what the adapter style was, but that's okay. I remember downstairs I have an old LCD monitor that only has VGA and DVI inputs, and I thought, well, let's see how well this works converting HDMI to VGA. And fortunately, this monitor also has speakers built in. So this converter takes HDMI, converts it to VGA, and an audio signal. So I'm going to take that and plug it directly into this monitor. I'm going to also plug in the audio cable, and then we're going to see if one of these minis plays really well on here and looks good. And I mean, it was $7, you know, maybe this will give me the option to reuse this old monitor. I have not used it in like 4 or 5 years easily. It's pretty dusty, as you can see. Ignore that, it works fine. I just got to clean it up again. But I want to know if, you know, this adapter actually works, if it's going to be really, you know, grainy or something with the video output, or the audio output's going to be kind of clunky. But no matter, I figured we'd give it a shot. So let's hook this all up and let's take a look and see if this is a viable solution for an old monitor, or say an old TV. Some of them have VGA also but don't have HDMI, and you want to just be able to, you know, modernize that old TV or an old monitor. Let's take a look. All right, so, you know, it's coming through. The speakers on this aren't very loud. But the image is very clean. Let's see if I can really focus in on that. I thought this was going to be a waste of money, but you know, this would be a great way to play this little system. I have yet to see, so I'll try this in a moment. I don't know if there's any lag through this, but it's supposed to be just a pass-through, so there shouldn't be any lag. And usually what I do is I test everything with let me slide a chair over here and get in position so I can actually play. I usually test it with a golf game because that requires some very, very reactive or low lag time to be able to hit just right. So this looks infinitely better. This little adapter didn't have very good reviews, so I wasn't having much of a high expectation on it to begin with. But you know, going through returning stuff to Amazon is such a hassle. I just figured I'd see if there was a way to utilize this. I thought I could use it on maybe an old TV or something, but oh, you know, I'm seeing something right now. This is not lined up right. Let me go back. The menu. Yeah, okay. I've got to do some setting adjustments. I couldn't even tell, but there's a black bar on the side here, so there we go. I just hit the auto adjustment and it worked perfectly. So that's great. So I didn't have to go in and mess around with settings a lot. Let's see what it says the input is on this right now. Brightness, color, information. Oh, it's such a nuisance to scroll through this stuff. Information. Let's see. So it says it's coming through at 720, 60 hertz. Obviously that's telling you the monitor's recommended settings. But, so this is probably stretched a little bit, I think, if I'm not, you know, miscalculating here. This might be a little, is it more or less? I don't know, I'd have to do some calculations, but either way, it's not too much, and it looks really great, and even the sound isn't bad. So now where's the volume here? Can I just, no, Do I gotta hit this button first? All right, it's turned up all the way, and it's not very loud, but you know, for a quick gaming fix, where I could hook up any little mini to this on the kitchen table really fast through that adapter, is pretty handy. All right, so let's check out a game that's, you know, not the best golf game, but power golf, but it definitely requires some precision. I usually can't play this on anything but a CRT, because the lag is like variable. It's kind of weird. It might be pretty close one time and the next time it's a little bit off, and fractions of a second on a game like this really make a difference. But I'm not noticing any, like other people have mentioned in reviews on Amazon, I'm not noticing any bleed or any interference right now. All right, usually got to aim this way just a little bit. Okay, I'm behind, so I don't know if that's going to be from lag or not, or just this thing, I'm not used to playing it. So let me try another shot here. You know when you feel it right. All right, I'm a little behind still. There it goes, right in the water. I'll skip back on the land. See, that moves very fast, so that's just me being slow. As you get down to your lower clubs, right behind a tree, nice. If you get down to your lower clubs, it moves a little slower and you have more time to react to it. So I don't think I'm getting, oh good, I'm on the other side of the tree. 185, so that's probably, the wind's blowing, probably a 3 iron. And again, I'm just a little bit behind it, but I don't think there's really much lag in this, which there shouldn't be, so that's good. This monitor probably has a pretty decent response time. Geez, do I even bother? I don't think I'll even fight that. I think it'll just go in. Just didn't hit it hard enough. You can see the lines a little bit where I'm striking the ball aren't quite even. And I can't remember. I mean, it's pretty good though. But there's a few that are off, and I wonder if that's the way the game looks. I'd have to run it through an emulator to look. But overall, this thing is scaling really well. Let's go back to the menu. Yes. And I don't think I have anything like scan lines on or anything, so let's take a look and see. Display settings. All right, that's turning on scan lines. Let's go full widescreen just to see how it looks. What should we run? Well, let's try Alien Crush. Seeing how we're in October here, this is a good spooky game. So that makes it a little soft with the scan lines in it, but it looks pretty genuine. Oh, which choice? It's pretty tough. So we'll turn the scan lines off after so you can compare. But playing a game like this, you can see the ball's aspect ratio is off a little bit. It's a little bit of an oval. But something that would totally be enjoyable in this mode. And actually, you know, I've got another monitor that is much larger than this from HP, and it has HDMI input. And it looks fantastic on there, but I'm wondering if this being just a little smaller actually works better as far as the graphics go. And that softness isn't from the adapter. Yeah, that's the funky thing. They definitely didn't want you to lose the ball in this on that outside very cheaply, so it would actually suck it back in. Oh, that was cheap. I forgot that you got to keep that flipper up. The drains on the sides are a little harder on this than most games, so they were nice because it probably drained too much. All right, so let's return to the menu. I have no choice but to return. Take off the scan lines there. All right, let's load this up again. Again, looks fantastic. Now you can see really crisp. It's just the scan lines that are doing it. We'll go fast, and this time we'll go with the first music option, which is a little less dark and a little more upbeat. But this looks great. You can see the background textures really well. Those kind of disappear on monitors sometimes, on CRTs. But it's coming through really nice. So I thought this adapter was a waste of money. I mean, it was only $7. It's $6.99. But if you have a monitor, CRT even, that has the need for where you got to plug in the cable, you'd be able to use this. But there are other ones out there that are HDMI input and then a female connector to VGA, so you can use your cable monitor, which the other one I have has. Oh, look at that! That's crazy that it pulls that back in. Which is part of what made this fun. You know, you weren't losing the ball all the time. You could play a heck of a round on this. Let me get it right in his mouth there. Come on, get in there. I was gonna say I could get to the bonus stage. Not you, the other guy. No, it's not yellow anymore. You have to get it in when it's yellow. A lot of people did not like that, but you can see it's pretty fast on the response time on the changing screens. I learned my lesson last time. All right, what's that gonna give me? Nothing. Oh, there's so many chances you can get to get it back into the plunger lane, but there we go. I don't know if that just gives you bonuses and resets everything. But I am pretty impressed for a $7 adapter. If you have an old VGA monitor only, an LCD or an LED, I don't even know if they made LEDs with that only, or if you have one that these look like Slimers, huh? From Ghostbusters. If you have one that the HDMI port broke on, I mean, you could do worse for $7, I'm sure. So this would be a heck of a thing. Or if you have an old TV that has, there was an era in the probably early 2000s where you started seeing a lot of TVs having VGA adapters. Like I've got a DLP with one HDMI and a VGA. Now, if I needed a second HDMI port, this would be very, very useful to put in like a Blu-ray player and not have to, if you only needed a couple HDMI ports. It'd be very useful to add a second HDMI. Now, people say this is cheap, it'll fall apart. Now, this is designed to be brought to events and stuff, to hook up your laptop to older projectors and things like that. So maybe it's easy. It was really cheap plastic. So we got the same bonus round. I don't want to see this again. It is really cheap plastic, but if you leave it in place and don't mess with it, I'm sure it'll last a while. Now, there's other people also said it worked for 3 months and died. You know, that's just the way it is. All this technology and all these adapters and stuff, all made in China or somewhere, and they're super cheap. But I mean, if you have a need for it, I'd recommend spending the $7 to add that extra functionality to one of your old TVs or old monitors. So, and then again, be wary if you're able to hook this up to your CRT, because you do have a female port on the back of your CRT that accepts the monitor cable. Where'd the ball go? Oh, there it is. Just be aware that not all CRTs like the refresh rates coming out of things like these minis, or say you have an HDMI Hyperkin that plays NES or Super NES, or like the Genesis one. It doesn't like those either. But if you have a monitor like this that you want to hook stuff up to, it works fine, because this will handle it. It's just CRTs are a bit finicky. So I was really glad that the one I had out of the 3 worked, because I thought the thing was just garbage. And then the last monitor I hooked it up, I was like, oh my goodness, it's working. So, all right, well, there you go. I don't know if this is really a review or anything, or just more gameplay of Alien Crush, which is, you know, good for October. But there you go. You can you know, modernize your monitor for a few bucks. So that's about it. Hope this was beneficial in any way to anybody out there. I don't think I see a lot of reviews on these kind of things. So I know that people buy these a lot, but they're usually for business purposes, not gaming purposes. And I can say, as far as gaming goes, this is working great. I mean, here's another. This is another thing where I noticed the lag. By the way, I'm playing a pinball game. If you got lag, you're not hitting the flippers quick enough, and this feels perfectly normal to me. So, hey, I got another screen I can use to play retro games on. So, all right, we'll see you next time, everybody. So long.